EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for February 11th, 2019. We had some light snow and snow showers overnight that's going to be confined to just our southern areas today. The rest of us will remain generally cloudy, but along the southern border of Pennsylvania and Maryland, and also across parts of South Jersey and northern Delaware, we'll see some intermittent snow showers today, maybe even some spotty freezing drizzle in some spots when it's not really doing anything. And further north, I think just a passing snow shower. Most of us are dry today, just cloudy and remaining on the chilly side. But we will have this system moving off to the north in the overnight hours. It's going to come in this evening, and we'll start to make a push to the north as we get closer during the course of the evening hours, maybe mid to late evening in some areas further north and east. But you do see it gathering and pushing northward as this area of low pressure starts to come in from the west. And this will continue up in this direction like this. And it's going to allow some warm air to advect from south to north. But I think most of the overnight period, most of us are going to be in the snow, except for the far southern regions that were snow earlier, are now going to go over to some sleet and freezing rain late tonight. So here is the overnight period. You can see it's a pretty good thump of snow here on the front end. This is the latest GFS showing this. So we also have this on the short range guidance that we take a look at as well. So this will be coming through in the overnight, a quick solid thump of snow that'll go, maybe 4, 6, 7, 8 hours, something like that. And then we're going to switch over at some point to sleet and freezing rain. You can see that here in the next frame. And that's going to push off to the north and east as that warm air begins to advect. And no coastal development out here, at least not in time to save us here. So we are going to have that warm air advection. There isn't a chance this remains all snow or anything like that. And of course, you can go on the weather alerts page, and it will have our latest information as far as our projections for snow and ice from this system. There does look like there's going to be an extended period of sleet involved with this. Not so much the freezing rain, so we didn't go too high on those totals. I know the European model was going pretty nuts with that, but I don't think there's going to be a big freezing rain event. And this is going to be something that goes over to light rain further south. But we will have to watch for the northern areas. May not change over at all to just plain rain across northeast PA especially. So we're going to watch this very closely as it over the next 24 hours. But I think we're pretty much set on the ideas that we had from last night with the with our second call that we made. We will have an update today if needed to adjust any totals, but it does look like it's pretty consistent across the board as we're looking at it this evening. But again, warm air will win out, and we'll have a changeover to rain. Again, some far northern areas may not change over, and I'm going to show you something on the NAM here that will indicate that. But this will go through the overnight, and will finally end overnight on Tuesday night. So by the time we get to Wednesday morning, you're just left with mostly cloudy skies and breezy conditions in the wake of the system. You can see that secondary did form, but of course that's going to be benefiting New England, not here. Here's the NAM high-res future simulated radar, starting this off at, this is 2 o'clock in the morning. You can see where the snow is and the thump of snow that's going on at this time. 32-degree line at this point is way off to the south here, so you got a cold wedge that's in here. Even though that it is below 32, you're getting some sleet mixing in down in here because the warmer air is coming in aloft. So it's overriding the cold air at the surface, and that's why you're getting a shallow layer of warming in the upper levels between generally 750 and 800 millibars. And at that level, there is enough warming there to change things over to sleet, but it will be cold enough for snow up in these areas at that time. This is starting off at 2 o'clock in the morning. And then we move forward in time, you're going to see this line start creeping northward. Here's 4 a.m., here's 5, here is 6, here is 7. At 7 o'clock, we are changing over to sleet, generally from Harrisburg over to just about the Lehigh Valley into central New Jersey. And that's indicated by these pink colors. The purple on the map here would be freezing rain. So there's going to be an extended period, we think, potentially of sleet. So we're going to go 3 hours later now to 10 a.m. Look at that. You get some pretty heavy sleet going on in our central areas, still holding on to snow in far northeastern portions of our coverage area, northwest New Jersey and extreme northeastern Pennsylvania. But there too, we're going over to sleet. Here is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Again, still dealing with frozen precipitation. And here's your 32-degree line all the way down here like this. I'm going to zigzag a little bit, but here's your 32-degree line. Everything north of here is frozen. Whether or not it's falling as sleet or freezing rain, it's still frozen precipitation because you are below freezing at the surface, even though it's warmer aloft. But further south, down here, we are switched over to just plain light rain. So those areas will get a break. And then going into further in the afternoon, here is looking at 4. And now still sleet continuing across northeast PA, northern New Jersey, but we are now freezing rain along the I-78 corridor. If you point south of there, you change over to light rain. And then by 7 p.m., we finally see that warm air push further north of I-78, just north of I-78, but you got freezing rain going on up in the Poconos, up in north central Pennsylvania. And these areas may not change over at all to just plain rain. Here's 10 p.m. It is just about winding down. And those areas that did change over to rain here just along and south of 78, I don't think you're going to be in the rain too long either. It's not like it's going to go up to 60 degrees and melt this all away. We're only going up to, maybe 34, 35 degrees in the overnight period once this pushes through. And then you got some showers and move in at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's out of here. Okay, so that's it. That's it. So not a lot of rain after it changes over, maybe in the southern areas, but I don't expect a big flood issue with this because it's not going to be changing over to just plain rain for very long. You will have some freezing rain after that transition from an extended period of sleet over to that freezing rain for a couple hours, maybe 3-4 hours, something like that, and then you go over to that just plain rain at the tail end. But areas across the far northern areas may not go above freezing at all for this entire event. Continue to watch the weather alerts page for any updates today. If we do make changes to the map, we will notify on social media outlets in both Facebook and Twitter. And then going forward from this point, we do dry out on Wednesday, but we are going to have mostly cloudy skies and then back to partly cloudy skies here on Thursday. Another system coming in from the west will come in here on Friday. It looks like Friday afternoon and Friday evening, and this is going to be in the form of rain, we think. It is another system coming to the west, but it's coming at a time where we expect it to be a little bit milder, so that's not going to be conducive for any wintry precipitation, except for maybe at the tail end, as this system wraps up and cold air moves in behind it. If there's enough precipitation left over at the tail end, you might end as snow here on Friday night or Saturday morning, but that system's going to exit pretty quickly, we think, and then while we're back to colder conditions this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday look like they're going to be dry days, partly cloudy both days, both Saturday and Sunday next weekend, but it will be much colder. Now, our next chance for any kind of wintry precipitation, we think, comes in the middle of next week, the next Tuesday, Wednesday time frame, probably more likely Wednesday. Might be a similar system like we've dealt with this time, where we're going to have a mixed bag of precipitation. A little bit too early to call on that, but it looks like it does have some wintry aspect to it, and it is another moisture-laden system that could be dealing with in the middle of next week. We're going to cross that bridge when we get there. We still have another system on Friday to deal with. Of course, that's mostly rain, but we're going to monitor that closely for any changes as well. But it does look like the active pattern is going to continue for the foreseeable future. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for February 11th, 2019. Have a great Monday.